Hi students, now we will see a small introduction about relational database. So this relational database was devised in the year 1969 by Edgar Card. And the three aspects of relational database are structural, integrity and manipulation. So relational database is nothing but a table. So the table is called as relation. The entire table is called as relation. And the rows in the table are called as tuples. And the column in a table is called as attribute. And next we are going to study about the relational keys. So totally there are 6 types of relational keys are available. So the keys are candidate key, primary key, alternate key, composite key, surrogate key, foreign key. So these are the 6 keys. So first we will see about primary key. So the primary key should have 2 properties. So what are the 2 properties of primary key means? The primary key must be unique. And then see, it must be not null. So not null means not empty. So what is the use of primary key? Actually I told it must be unique. Unique means it is used to identify the tuple in a row in a unique manner. So the tuple, actually the tuple in a table, okay, not in a row. See, primary key is used to identify a tuple in a table in a unique manner. So that is the purpose of primary key. So now we will consider 2 tables, and so here the first table contains name and date of birth, and the second table contains course code, title and description. So now if you consider the first table, see Mickey name, name considers set of values, so Mickey, Pluto and again Mickey, and the date of birth is also some values. So here no column is unique. So we can't take name as a primary key and also birth date as a primary key because both of the columns are not unique. But here in the second table, if you see, course code is unique and not null. So you have 2 different course code and it is not empty and also it is unique. So you can consider this course code as a primary key. But in this table, nothing can be considered as a primary key. So what we can do, we can combine these 2 columns. So if you combine name and birth date, then it will be unique. So Mickey and then 3/4/1963. Pluto and 3/4/1963. Mickey and 6/11/1975. So if you combine these 2 columns, then it can be treated as a primary key. So when you combine 2 columns and treat as a primary key, then it is called as composite primary key. And here it is, see here we are not combining anything. So this is called as non-composite primary key. And then next we are going to consider another table. So student table. So this table contains student number, name and then course ID, some fields. So here if you see, student number is also unique and the name is also unique. So student number is also unique and then not null. Similarly name is also unique and then not null. So in a table you can have many columns. For this the values are unique, not null and we can say minimal. So these columns are called as candidate key. So in a table, if a column is unique and then not empty, stable, and minimal, then it is called as candidate key. So here student number is a candidate key and also name is a candidate key. So among these two keys, student number and name, see, we selected student number as a primary key. So assume that we selected student number as a primary key. And the name is a candidate key which is not selected as a primary key. So this is called as alternate key. So a table can have more than one candidate key. Among those candidate key, one can be selected as a primary key, and the candidate key which are not selected as a primary key is called as alternate key. Okay, then next we are going to see about the foreign key. So what is a foreign key? Foreign key means in one table we have a primary key. So this primary key can be referred in another table. Then in this table it is called a primary key, and whenever it is referred in another table and in that table that particular column is called as foreign key. So this is an example of foreign key. So here we have course code. So in this table course code is a primary key, and in this table course code is referred from this particular table. So in this table course code is called as foreign key. And whenever you want to give the values of foreign key, you have to use the values whichever used in the primary key table. So you can see here COMP102. So the same value we are using. Similarly, PSYC101. The same value we are using. So this property is called as referential integrity. Then next we are going to see about the surrogate key. So what is a surrogate key? Surrogate key is an artificial key. Actually, surrogate key is a set of columns or one column, but it is not real, means it is not natural. It is artificial. So it was introduced in an artificial manner. So for example, if you have a customer table, we can introduce customer number. So when you introduce customer number in a new manner in a table, then it is called a surrogate key. So now we will see the definition of each and every keys. So first, candidate key. So the definition of candidate key is any key that meets the unique, stable and minimal, and it can be more than one for a given relation or for a given table. And then primary key. A primary key is a column or columns in a table that uniquely identifies the rows in that table, and you have to select one. So just one chosen from the candidate key. And then alternate key. If any table have more than one candidate key, then after choosing primary key from those candidate key, the rest of the candidate keys are known as alternate key. So among the candidate key which are not selected as a primary key, all those are called as alternate key. And then composite key or compound key, or it is also called as composite primary key. So the definition of composite primary key is when we create keys on one or more than one column, then that particular key is known as composite key or composite primary key. And then surrogate key. So it is an artificial key. It is an invented key. So for example, customer ID. So which is just number, you can add it. And then next, foreign key. So foreign key are those keys which is used to define a relationship. So it is used to define relationship between two tables, and it is also known as referential integrity. So we will see another example for referential integrity. So here in course table, course ID is a primary key, and the same course ID is used in student table as a foreign key. So now you can see here BBW is available in the primary key table. Similarly, DRC is also available and DFA is also available in the primary key table. And now if you see DJK, it is not available in this table. So this is called as violation of referential integrity. And then next we are going to see about relationship transformation rules. So how to transfer the relationship. Suppose if you want to implement one-to-one relationship, then place the primary key of the first relation into the second relation as a foreign key, or you can do the vice versa, means the primary key of the second relation can be related into the foreign key of the first relation. So that is also possible. So like this you have to transfer one-to-one relationship. And then next, one-to-many relationship. So here you must place the primary key of the one end relation to the foreign key of the many end relation. So the primary key of the one end table should be taken as a foreign key for the many side table. So this is the transformation rule. And then next relationship is many to many relationship. So as we know, or I told you before, many to many relationship is not practically possible. So you have to implement many to many relationship as one to many and then many to one by introducing the associative entity. So what you have to do, create a new all key relation to represent many to many relationship. So you have to create a new relation to represent many to many relationship, and you have to follow one to many transformation rule. So we will see a small example for this transformation. So here you have two relationship, and see what is the relationship between these two, many to many relationship. So how to convert this many to many relationship? For this you have to introduce an associative entity classification. So here the associative entity is classification. And how you have to convert? So this many should be coming here and this many should be coming here. So many to many relationship will be converted into one to many and then many to one. Like this you have to convert the many to many relationship and you have to represent in a table. And here one, here also one and here also one. So this is mandatory. And then so this is the intersecting relation and it is also called as associative entity. So that's all about this. Again, if you have any doubts, you can ask me.